Hi, Sophie Watson here, helping corporate and entrepreneurial women to get back in control of stress and anxiety. So I've been thinking about forgiveness. Now, this may be either forgiving yourself, which is a biggie, or forgiving somebody else. So I'm going to start off with forgiving yourself. So when we hold on to our mistakes and we wish that we could change it, or we wish that we start putting ourselves down because we feel guilty about that thing that we did or the thing that we didn't do. The problem is we start holding on to those thoughts and that energy, and we actually start losing our self-worth. We start not loving ourselves enough. We start criticizing ourselves because we know that maybe we shouldn't have done it, but we did that thing. So it's really, really important that we acknowledge what we did, but also that we start moving on from it. And the way that we can move on from it is basically forgiving ourselves. Now, everybody makes mistakes. There is no one person in this entire world that has never made a mistake. And if they tell you that they haven't, then they are living in denial. Okay? We make mistakes because we need to learn lessons. We need to learn from those mistakes. These mistakes may be small, they may be huge, but whatever those mistakes are, we are learning constantly. And it's good to make mistakes, because if you never made mistakes, you would never learn and you would never grow. So it's important that we do. Now, the level as to which we make the mistakes also determines our level of guilt and whether or not we can forgive ourselves. But the thing is, if we don't ever forgive ourselves, then we're going to stay trapped. We're actually trapping ourselves. It's like being in your own personal prison. All of your decisions will be made based on that mistake and that guilt and that not being able to forgive yourself for it. All of your decisions. And it will spread out into other areas of your life. So it won't necessarily just be your personal life. It will be in your work life. It will be in your relationships. So the thing is, you need to look deeply and actually say to yourself, okay, so maybe I didn't do it right that time, but I can't let that hold me back anymore. Okay, so it's all about you starting to forgive yourself and move forward. Now, when it comes to other people, again, we need to start learning to forgive other people, because again, those actions, those things, those whatever it was that they did or didn't do, that's going to determine how we behave and we react to other situations. So it may be that somebody, say it was a relationship and the other person had an affair. Well, the thing is that that's your trust that's going then, because you trusted that person. So that trust is now gone. But actually, what you need to do is you need to start. You're never going to forget what happened, but if you can forgive that person, it's going to help you to start moving forward and trust other people, because these things, they stick in our subconscious. And the way that we behave and the way that we act and the way that we respond is all based on past experiences. So it may be that you have a trust issue with others now, and that's why relationships aren't working. And it might not just be personal relationships, loving relationships. It may be relationships at work. So your work colleagues, it could be anything. It can spread out into every area of your life like a disease. So by you being able to learn to forgive somebody, it's enabling you to move forward with your life, for you to start growing and to move on, rather than being held back with like shackles and chains in that old situation. Now, you can do this in a number of different ways. You could write a letter to that person, not actually send it, but for you to actually acknowledge how you feel about that situation. Did it make you angry? Did it make you upset? Did it make you question everything? Because what you need to do is you need to acknowledge exactly how you feel so that you can then start to move on from it. And then if you can think of what positive things have come out from that situation. So it may be that you actually had a relationship where there was no trust in that relationship, but actually now that it's ended, you've actually found somebody much more compatible with you, and you've got that trust there. It's looking at all of the positives that came out of it. So would you actually be having the experiences that you have now if that situation or that thing hadn't have happened? And it's the same with your own personal forgiveness. Would you have got those positive things from it if it hadn't have happened? So always look for the positives out of these situations, because what we tend to do is we always look at the negatives. And the more that we look at negatives, the more negatives we see. But it's the same for positives. When we look for positives in a situation, the more positives we're going to see. And actually, when we're looking for positives, we actually feel much, much better. So, who do you need to forgive? Acknowledge how you feel. Think about what positives have actually come out of that situation, and you'll start to feel a bit better about it. If you need more help, then just get in contact with me. Just comment down below if this has been helpful for you. Share with your friends, family, and anyone else that you feel would benefit from this. Because at the end of the day, the only person that is holding you back by you not forgiving is you. Take care. I hope you find those tips helpful. Now, if you are a woman working in the corporate or entrepreneurial world and you would like a bit of help to get back in control of stress and anxiety, then please head along to my website. On there, you can register for a free session with myself. You just need to complete the box on the home page, submit your details, and Rachel, who is my diary manager, or myself will be in contact with you as soon as possible to book you in. Now, the session's an hour long and it can be via Skype or in person. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world, we can do this session. So just go along, complete your details and submit it, and I'll be in contact with you as soon as possible. The website you need to visit is www.sophiewatson-therapy.com.